Pauline Gregory Lewis. I really apologize for the late start. How are you? And welcome. Welcome, welcome.
I'm very well. I am very well. Thank you so very much.
We almost been around the walls of Jericho a couple times and back, but we're here and we're going to be talking about the series. This is one of the books in the series. This is book one. For those of you on Facebook and YouTube, you'll see it. So jump on and you'll see The Obedient Cow. And each book in the series has a lesson. And of course, we have the author with us, Pauline Gregory Lewis. Welcome to Bookwise. And how are you today?
I am very well.
Yes.
Very blessed and thankful that I'm alive and well. Yes.
Amen. All right. So let's talk a little bit about this Obedient Cow. First of all, this name. Why you have named the book after cow? The series. For those of you on the video, you can see the different books and everything, and I'll highlight each of them. But why did you choose to name them after a cow?
All right. This is a little mystery that I don't know if I can tell you exactly. What I know is that I love animals. And I also know that children tend to gravitate to, for example, movies and cartoons and so that depict animals. And therefore, when I thought of it, it just came to me and I said, you know what? This sounds unusual and it represents much of what I think the children may like, just the sound of it. And so with that, I just decided to just go with it as the series name.
Nice. Then you not only chose to go with that as the name, The Obedient Cow. You could have gone with Obedient Bird, or but you cartoonized the series, and you made it into a book. Tell me about the journey into deciding, I'm going to do a book, I'm going to do a cartoon book, I'm going to make it for children. What was that like?
Boy, Nadine, how do I begin? I have to do a lot of work with children. And when you started, you spoke about the fact that there's a value, there's something there in each of the books. So through my foundation, I have to do a lot of work with children. So we do a lot of work with children at the early childhood and primary levels. So I'm in the schools quite often enough and that sort of a thing. And sometimes when I am out there, I listen to the comments of the teachers, the principals, the guidance counselors. And when they speak of the challenges that they are encountering, top of the list is the issue of the lacking in values and attitudes that they are seeing in the young children. And it really hit me more so, even when the principals, a few of them at the early childhood level, when you go in the basic school, they are saying, boy, I tell you something, we are done for. Because, they are seeing this breakdown. And I say to myself, boy, we are really in trouble if at such an early stage, it's as if almost you get a sense that we are hopeless. Because if at the early stage you are saying that, boy, listen, this is what is happening, the parents not giving the kind of guidance, the children doing whatever they please, and the breakdown is so clear and present.
And then now, Pauline, COVID come and the breakdown that was there broke down even more.
Yes, my dear girl, very much. And listen, it is going to take me so long to get into the story, even with the COVID breaking coming and the kind of interaction and the stories that are shared with me, So this was my motivation. I said, you know what? As a child of God, and I have an abiding interest in the children and recognizing that Jamaica is the place that I live. And
You have to do
this
what you can to
constant,
help who you can.
yes, this constant chorus from the 2030 Plan of Development. Jamaica, the place to live, work, raise families, and do business. It is in jeopardy if we do not put in some sort of solution from now, and try to guide. And I am not saying that these books is the answer to
Only,
everything,
right.
only, but they are just basic books that children can read, and they can be read to them as well, parents, caregivers, teachers, and to bring out all that you're seeing in the various topics, the value of obedience,
The value of
kindness.
obedience. Yeah. All our name is Kindness. That's book number 2.
Yes,
Hi,
yes.
Colleen Woodson, who is on already on YouTube and Facebook. This one is what? The joy
The
of working
joy of working together.
Let me hold this up long. Together, I sang a song recently. You are important to me. Honesty, the best policy. I love
Still
it.
is. Yes.
And the greatest of them all, the power
The power of love.
of. I love
Yes.
this. I love this. And I want to congratulate you. You know, we don't reach the end yet, but me want to congratulate you for
Thank you.
you saw a need and you didn't think that you're going to be superwoman to fix the need for in every case and everywhere. But you said, what
Definitely not.
I do, you in your small corner and I in mine. You remember that
Yes.
little song?
Yes. Yes.
Jesus did a sign. And you did your thing and you did a series. And
Yes.
let's talk now about where is this available? Who is it available to? And who are you targeting?
I am targeting children between the ages of, I would say, 6 to 10. 6 to 10. What happens is that the whole early childhood spectrum begins at that early childhood, what we call basic school, up to grade 3 in the primary school. Some persons may not know that early childhood from grade 1 to 3 is part of the whole early childhood spectrum. So it is those students in the primary school between grade 1 to 3, and I would say grade 4 as well. I would say here, I normally interject right here and said for all the principals and all the persons that have reviewed these books, their response is, Pauline, for all of the class at the primary school. Because guess what? It's a basic reminder of things that we are seeing that are just going nowhere,
Yes.
But I know that there is need to put in a kind of market to say, this is the group that we're targeting. But any child, at that age can just pick up and read. And if you're at grade 1, and you can read the book. If not, as we say, the teachers can read it.
Look at that. For those on YouTube and Facebook, you see how it's done? And you have the little bird over there and the big letters. So you can, read it. And then at the end, I like at the end of each book, you have an activity. They have coloring book and you have puzzle and all kind of something. And then you have a little preview of the next book that's coming up.
Yes.
So
Yes.
I like that. I remember I was reading through a few of them because, we don't want to read through the whole thing, which would be easy to read through this because it's an easy read.
Easy read.
Yes, and I picked that up. Parents can also, teachers can use it in the classroom.
Yes.
Parents can have them at home and read them bedtime story.
Yes.
And these kids, they want to hear one story 10 to 11 time.
Same stuff.
Yes. Where is it available?
All right. These books are available and have been available in Sangster's bookstores, Kingston, Portmore, Spanish Town since actually June, and also in Kingston bookshop stores across those very same areas.
All right.
So
Sangsters and
parents
Kingston.
and right. And the
Okay.
parents can go, now it's Christmas. It's a good way to give children a book.
And
Yes. The reading thing is not happening as often and as we need to.
yes.
So I am seeing it as, and I always say that even if you can't buy all five,
Mm-hmm.
buy
Mm-hmm.
one, buy two.
Mm-hmm.
I have a colleague who actually bought, she wanted to teach her 7-year-old son a lesson about kindness. She bought two of the books, Kindness and Obedience, right? And she came back and
And
she
if
said,
you
Pauline,
and if
listen.
you want to teach all of the lessons, all of the values, buy the whole thing, and you can read it
Yes,
nightly, and you can read
yes,
it to the child, and then have the child read it back to you, and that's how
right,
it's done. Yes.
right. And
Mhm.
as my colleague said, she went through, gave it to her son, let him read it, give him the kindness one first. Because she recognized him really do not like to share. Right? He's like a last child, but his other brothers and sister, I think their brother and sister is much older than him. So he thinks that, okay, he's in a whole world by himself.
By yourself.
Okay, I am small. I don't need to whatever. But that is why she need to let him recognize that, hey, you need to share. So once he read it, she went through with him and said, do you recognize this? Do you see and that kind of thing, and the children, and she keep it around, as she say, and from time to time she point out that this is what sharing is about, this is
Yes.
what disobedience will cause you, and
Right.
that
Right.
sort of a thing. So yes,
Love it.
I have a way of saying to a good friend of mine, it's my little way of trying to save our children, let me put it that way, trying to save our children, because unfortunately, Nadine, I don't know if it is the busyness of life, or sometimes we have some parents that just can't bother care right now. I don't know. I mean,
Because
children
they
live what they
themselves
learn.
are stressed. They themselves are stressed out.
They themselves are stressed out.
And some
But
don't know how to manage and say, okay, I'm stressed out,
yes,
but this child is even more stressed. So let me deal with my stress for an hour, but I must find
mhm,
time to help be there for my
right,
child. All right. So
right, right,
parents, if you're
right.
not there, write another series. Parents, if you're not there for your child, somebody else will.
Yes,
Call it the
yes.
Be There
And
series.
and we recognize, that the school is so significant,
Mhm.
but there is always still a place for the home and the parents. We
Yes.
know the tremendous task that the schools and the teachers do, but we still want to say to the parents in all these things, if it's a weekend, one evening in the week when you come home and you say, all right, I'm going to turn my attention to the child or children that I have. And as you say, just read a story just for
Mhm.
bedtime or
Mhm.
however the approach you want to do. But it's really for them to learn. And I am so very excited and wanting every child. I said in a previous interview some time ago, if I could get these books in every nook and cranny of
Yes.
Jamaica,
Yes.
then I would have achieved, this
Yeah.
thing that I set out to achieve.
Go for it.
But I
Go
know
for it.
also that it's one day at a time.
Yes, go for it. Go for it. The Obedient Cow series. And each book, as we mentioned, looks at various values that every parent should want their child and themselves to show and learn and have as a part of them. Obedience, kindness, love, working together, and honesty. I love it. Thank you so much, Pauline. Anything else you want to mention before we
Well,
wrap?
right. I just want to say that you can reach me at Pauline GL Author on IG. You can email me at pauline.gregorylewis@gmail.com. And you can also WhatsApp me at
Hold on. Pauline
GL
DL
G
author.
G
Mm-hmm.
Pauline G as in Gregory
GL
and L as in Lewis.
author.
Pauline GL Author,
Right.
AUCHOR. Right,
Right.
and that's it for IG.
Uh-huh. And
You
then
can email, huh?
go ahead.
Right. You can actually email me. Let me give you this one that I use for this purpose. Positive stories at gmail.com. Very easy.
All right.
And you can send me a WhatsApp, reach out to me if you are out in the country and you want to get a book and you don't have Sangston and Kingston bookshop and you think you need to get a book. Let me know. I will find a way to get it to you. So you can WhatsApp me at 876-781-4739.
All right. Good to go on
Right.
now. Okay. There you go.
That's it.
All
Right,
right.
right.
Thank you very much for sharing. And I really pray you all the best with this series. I pray that the word gets out and that parents,
Yes,
teachers will grab it, use it, and children will benefit from it. Thank you very
absolutely.
much,
Yes. That
Pauline.
is the deep desire of my heart. Yes.
Someone is asking, is the book on Amazon?
Okay, great. What happened is that the books will be on Amazon by the end of November, both in for Kindle where you can download,
Right.
and it's also the paperback. So
Okay.
that is actually being worked on as we speak.
By
So
the end
that
of
should be there
November.
by the end of November, if not before. And we talk about end of November, which is basically next week. So we are
Right.
basically right,
Yes.
right. So
So that
it will be there by next week.
anywhere
Yes,
you are in the world, and even in Jamaica, as I usually say, that you can still order and have it shipped to
yes,
you,
yes,
paperback.
yes, yes.
Thank you
Right.
so much, Pauline, and
Thank
all
you
the very
too.
best. All right.
Yes,
God
my
bless
dear.
you.
Blessings. Good.
Bookwise today talking with Pauline Gregory Lewis about the Obedient Cow series. Thank you for asking the questions. I hope all your questions were answered. This person who's still typing. Have a good day, Pauline.
All right. They can message me on IG or WhatsApp and I can respond to the questions. Not a
Right,
problem.
right.
Blessing. Good.
Okay. Thank you much.
Bye-bye.
All the best. Bye
Blessing.
bye.
Good.
Come on, people, let's realize. Open their eyes, it's time to get wise, wise.
Thank you so much for listening to the feature Bookwise. This is Love 101 FM, the family station.
Wise.